Radio, I have Marley and Logan with me so far.
Hey,
They're going to be talking about their film, The Dark Sorcerer. So let's get into the basics. Where did you two meet?
So we met at Alton College a few years back, and we were both in the same film production class. And the moment that I think truly set off our friendship it was a day where we came into college and most of the teachers were on strike. We were all there with about 5 hours to kill because the teachers hadn't given us proper notice and to half the class. So we were like, what do we do? So we were like, well, we could use this time to make a short film. And from there, it just launched our whole dynamic, and we've been working together since.
Most people went home. We decided to do something productive, and I think that shared mutual interest of doing something creative of our time really...
I mean, why not? I mean, you might as well use the time. So, The Dark Sorcerer, what is your film about? Give me a brief summary.
So, The Dark Sorcerer is the story of Hannah Brown, a sorceress bride struck down at her own wedding by her father and left for dead, her wife to be slaughtered and all the other guests killed, and she returns 6 months later to seek revenge and bring her lost love back from the dead.
Very interesting, very interesting. So it's kind of like that kind of spooky fantasy drama then?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
perfect for Halloween.
If we got it out before then, I think we would really be achieving something. Maybe before next Halloween, if we're the next year's Halloween, if we're lucky.
What compelled you to write this kind of genre? Have you done it before?
So I've always had a passion for the fantasy genre. I've enjoyed writing short stories and novel-based fiction in it, sort of like as an ongoing side project, but I'd never tried to tackle it on film before. And I knew for my grad film that I was trying to decide between two genres. Either I wanted to make something in the superhero subgenre or in fantasy. And after a while, I kept having this recurring image in my head, which was a cloaked figure in a forest surrounded by fog, and then 3 enemies surround her on 3 sides and just emerge from the woods around her carrying enchanted swords. And I was just like, that's a good image, but I don't have an idea around it. I just have that mental image. I knew that's what I wanted, but I didn't have the idea around it. And then one day I was listening to one of the songs from the Tom Cruise movie Oblivion, and as I started listening to it, I was just like, hold on. And then the idea just started forming in my head. It just gave me great inspiration. To this day, I can't explain why, but from there, the idea just started fully forming, and I've been developing it since and just getting people on board.
That sounds awesome. I mean, the best ideas come out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So far during production, what's been the most satisfying, proud moment of production?
Ooh, Logan, what do you think?
For me, the most satisfying thing is every different person who is so uniquely talented in their own thing, whether it's music, whether it's singing, whether it's like sound, whether it's food, no matter what. We're getting people who specialise in their very unique talent and giving them a showcase where they can really show that to the world and push themselves and prove themselves.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's getting the different people to do the different roles to really come together for something. That's the most satisfying part.
Pulling out all the stops then. Logan, why did you join this project?
Well, Lord knows, Megan, because I have such a busy schedule. I think for the longest time, I've always appreciated Marley as an artist, as a director. I always excited for everything he does, as he is for me. He sent me the script, and I was just like, this is a good idea. Like, Marley naturally is really good at pitching anyway, but he knew, I think, that he really wanted me specifically for this kind of job.
And when I was designing the idea in my head, there were 3 people I knew I absolutely wanted. The very first person was Logan as the producer. I'd wanted him for a long time.
So he managed to sell me on the script. It took a lot of back and forth, but I'm really glad to be working on it. And right now it's one of the things I'm most proud of working, because I'm only in my 2nd year. So to be able to say to people in my classes, yeah, I'm doing a grad film. Oh, it's for a different uni.
Must be a massive ego boost.
People go like, wait, what? Straight up. So it just makes me feel really busy and productive, and I genuinely think that great things are going to come from it. So I just knew it was the kind of right project right now at the time, and it just benefited everybody.
Fantastic. So what work have you been doing on this film in particular, Logan?
Me specifically, I'm doing most stuff to do with maybe the social media post. I'm getting recognition for the film. I have been giving feedback on every single script draft. I've been also looking online for locations, assisting with casting. I'm pretty much a very high-end consultant, really. I'm really judging everything.
Well, I'd say that's underselling himself. I mean, one of the things that Logan has really done, which has been a huge part of production, I mean, it's the reason we're here today, is that Logan has been the bridgehead between Portsmouth University and the University of Creative Arts. Logan has been one of the main people allowing that creative collaboration to happen, and because of that, the film's ambition has just been growing and growing, and I think it's making a real difference.
That's fantastic. So, to get a better idea of this film, if you could compare it to 2 films, what would you say?
We were discussing this earlier, actually. I would say Kill Bill meets medieval Star Wars.
Interesting.
That's what I'd have to go for. There's obviously aspects of several LGBT dramas in there as well, based on the themes of homophobia, prejudice, and redemption. But I'd say those are the two main film inspirations in terms of style, tone, and story subject matter.
What do you both hope to achieve from this film? Do you think it could lead to anything in particular? Or
if this film manages to achieve its full potential, which I think it's well on track to doing with the people we've managed to get on board and are, consistently looking to push that further, I think the main thing I'd like to achieve is if everyone who works on this can really get great career recognition and establishment.
If anybody networks on the set of this film and anybody gets maybe a next job specifically because somebody higher up has seen this film, then that would just be the perfect honor.
Once we've completed the film, we hope to get it into festivals nationally and internationally. We'll apply to as many as we can conceivably have the patience to write the application forms and media packages for. But besides that, if any production companies come to us looking to distribute or pick up the idea, we'd certainly seriously consider that. We're looking to make something worthy of that quality, and I think with the team around me, people like Logan and people like the crew I've got, I think there's a real chance of it.
Will you be doing things like screenings just to kind of get it out there to start off with and so everyone can see it?
One thing we'll hopefully get into is my university runs a screening for the top grad films every year at BFI. We'd be looking to hire out, say, a cinema screening, maybe somewhere like Guildford or Basingstoke.
So how much longer do you think you've got on this project?
So we've been in pre-production for it since late June. I would say we've got another 3 to 5 months of pre-production, looking to shoot in late February into late March time, and then we'll be editing March through to May after it's been graded and received feedback from our tutors. Then we'll be looking to push for it to go into its screening and festival circuit.
Fantastic. So although you're only in pre-production right now, what's been the biggest challenge so far for you both?
Yeah, we both agree on this together. 3, 2, 1.
The
fundraising.
Oh, you've been raising funds for production. How have you been doing that?
So several ways. On a practical basis, we've got a fundraiser on Indiegogo that's currently raised £135. We've also had several individuals pledge to commit another several £100, so we're doing quite well on that. Our overall target goal is that we're looking to raise £10,000. So one of our main ideas to break the back of that budget is that we'll be hosting a dinner quiz fundraising evening. Sometime around early December is what we're looking for, as well as several other initiatives we've got going. So if anyone could donate even the smallest amount to this project, it would mean the world to us, and it would make a huge difference.
If people wanted to donate, how?
So they would go to our Facebook page. On there, we've pinned the fundraising post right to the top, so it's not difficult to find. Either that, or they can directly type in Indiegogo, the Dark Sorcerer. It should be the very first one to come up on Google searches. From there, just as much as you can spare.
Yeah, have you got anything exciting planned for after this?
I mean, there's several ideas always in the works. Every time you start one idea, in the back of your head, you've got 6 more, like, whirring away in the background. I think once I've completed this project, I'd like to start working on horror again, as that was one of the major inspirations that got me into filmmaking as a genre. And they were some of the first short films I did. They were horror films, and I've always had a passion for them. So I think with the amount of crew and technical experience I gained from this, I'd really like to return to that genre with a lot more experience and renewed passion, and just find an idea to really sink my teeth into.
This wholeheartedly is 100% something that comes from a very creatively genuine place, and this is something we're all working so hard to make, and it's something serious, and it's something that we think is genuinely really special. And hopefully we're not only pushing ourselves, but if the audience is entertained, and if people can get jobs, and if people can say they've had a good time, then we would have done exactly everything we would have wanted to do. We've got nothing but talented people in every single role, and hopefully we just make something that's really kind of, if not inspiring, something that's really uplifting and positive for the audience to experience and feel.
Exactly, and I would just add to that the major thing I would like to say is a huge thanks to everyone who's been working on it so far. I have so much admiration and respect for everyone I'm working with. I wouldn't change any of them for the world, and it just means a great deal that they've all signed on to this. And I think the three things I want to achieve with this film are, one, to make something entertaining that feels passionate, as I think any filmmaker wants to do. Two, I'd really like for the themes to connect with people who've struggled with prejudice in their lives. And thirdly, to just have a great time with great people. And on that third point, I'm already well ahead with that.
Well, you guys sound really passionate about this. It's great to hear, and I wish you all the best for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
No problem. This has been Megan Ashwood, UCA Radio, signing off.